Hello, everybody.
Hello.
It's us again. It's Sam right over there on that camera.
And Kylie, right over there.
Oh,
I don't know where you are to me,
I
but
don't
to
know
me
where you
you're
get
that
active.
way.
Yeah, now that you did that, I'm like, oh wait, I don't know you're watching this or how you see this, I should say. All right, so today we are diving into the Never After series written by Emily McIntire, and we're starting with book one, which is Hooked.
Oh, this one I think is still one of my favorites. So,
Oh man, I don't have my book on me to hold it up and show.
well, I don't. I read mine on Kindle, so I don't have
Yeah,
one.
we'll insert picture there. This book it's called Hooked, and it's a dark twist on the beloved Peter Pan tale.
That's the one thing I like about her books is like I know. I think you've read them all now,
Yeah,
haven't you? I've only read the four out of the six so far, and they're all like these twists on the fairy tales that we grew up with, like basically all the Disney movies we watched,
primarily.
and like just taking those villains and making them relatable, like likable. I don't know, relatable.
I would hope not. Some
But
of the
like
stuff I would hope not, at least.
more like you understand why they're doing what they're doing. You're like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, I can see why. Like you're not really a bad guy. You're just kind of a bad guy. You make some bad choices.
Questionable. Seems a little questionable to me.
Yeah, well,
I think this one is actually the shortest one in the series.
really?
I think. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that one. But this one is 312 pages long.
See, that didn't. I guess, yeah, maybe.
Compared to fucking Hexed, it's really short.
See, that's the thing. Like, I have no like how big the book is comparison because I just
Yeah.
read them on my Kindle, and so they're all small.
They're all like that big.
Yeah, they're all so tiny. Let's see. Oh yeah, Scarred is 447 pages.
Okay.
Wretched is 320, so not
Okay, so not
that
really.
much.
That one seemed like it was so long.
That's because we don't like the Wizard of Oz.
That's fair. That's
Um,
fair.
Twisted was 366. And Crossed is 418.
That
And
was too long.
I'm not looking forward to
I just
it.
have so much. I'm so sorry. My opinion on that one's so biased because I don't like it.
544. I've heard that though from a lot of people. Like,
Yeah.
you're not the only person. Like, I know I've had multiple friends who read the Never After series, started that book and didn't finish it, and then had zero interest in going back for the newest one that just came out.
Which I highly recommend going for that one because it was really good.
Yeah, I
Really
mean, I'm
long, but
gonna
it was
read
really
them.
good.
I know, 544 pages. It just seems excessive for me.
It's it's really good though, and like this isn't even me about Crossed, and we will get to that book eventually,
I
like
have to read it first.
pretty soon ish. Yeah.
Don't rush
Um,
me.
no, not rushing. I'm not rushing. Um, we'll get to that book, and this isn't. It's not even a dig on Emily McIntyre because I'm reading actually the seventh book by her. So like I like her writing style. I just don't like that particular book.
Yeah, I've heard things about that book.
I can't wait to dive into that one because I'm just gonna unleash everything. I don't like it.
Me with Throne of Glass. I fucking hated that series.
Exactly
Like,
like you and
I ripped that series apart on one of my videos. I was like, nope, I don't understand why people like this.
oh my gosh.
And I'm not sorry about it.
Yeah, and you shouldn't have to be. That's your right.
It's my right to hate that book series,
It's your right as a reader.
to be mad about it.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Oh
let's
boy.
let's dive in. We've said
Yeah.
enough.
So I'm gonna save the rating for the end.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Okay.
But the basic premise of Hooked, I know we said it's like it's a dark twist on Peter Pan, but these books don't follow like the storyline. They just kind of use the characters, so when you have an idea of how the characters like mannerisms are, it kind of reminds me of like fan fiction, where they use somebody that you know to create the story.
However, in this case, in this series, she does change their names like a little bit.
Kind of.
Not so much in this one, but in the other ones, she really does like twist their names a lot.
Yeah, I agree. This one is the most like genuine name to like, Peter Pan.
Yeah.
But it's about this guy named Hook, also known as James, but he does not like people calling him by his name. So he only goes by Hook. And he is not even low-key, very high-key obsessed with getting revenge against a guy named Peter Michaels, and he is the owner. I liked this little Easter egg. He's the owner of an airline company, and it's called Neverland Air. So I liked that little. I was like, oh, that's fun.
Yeah, same thing with the bar. I liked that too.
What was the bar? I don't remember.
The Jolly Roger.
Oh, that's right. That's right. And he just has just wants to get revenge on him for what happened to his parents years before. And
when he was a kid.
When he was a kid. And it just so happens that Peter's daughter, Wendy, comes into the Jolly Rogers, which is like his crime boss's like main location.
It's like the front for what they actually do, basically.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, I must seduce her and I'm going to murder her in front of him. That's my plan.
Dun, dun, dun.
But it's a dark romance. Do we really think that plan goes through?
Not even a little bit.
I mean, it got a little dicey for a while.
It sure did.
I was kind of like, I was like, oh, is this book gonna end how I think it's gonna end? Because I wasn't sure.
Yeah, he threw me off when that happened, but we're getting a little ahead there. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how the book starts, and she meets him, and she's like, oh, a guy's attracted to me. La 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 la.
It's very obvious that there's a spark between them when they met, because he sees her on the cameras, he's in the office, and he walks up to her and is like talking to her, this, that, the other thing. And she's using a fake ID to be at this bar.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Because she's a year under 21. She's 20. And when he walked up to her, it pissed off one of the girls that she was with because the girl fancied Hook.
Oh, that's right. She made the comment of like, oh, don't try to get his attention. I've been trying every time I come here and he's just not interested.
Yep. And she did nothing and he's like, well, hello, pretty lady.
Hello. Let me find you in the dark hallway when you're trying to go to the bathroom and seduce you.
Yeah.
But that's what happened.
Yeah, because James has planned to seduce her and use her in his ultimate scheme for revenge against her father.
Basically as, like, the biggest collateral.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this is, like, kind of where Wendy's relationship with her own father is so important, too.
Mm-hmm.
Because, so Wendy has a little brother named John.
Yes.
And Peter has always, like, focused on Wendy. Like, she is his pride and joy.
Literally his everything.
And treats John like absolute dog shit.
Mm-hmm.
And so then John, like, just doesn't care. He's like, I don't give a fuck. Like, you don't pay attention to me anyway. Like, I just didn't he want to, like, stay at home and do online schooling?
Yeah, he wanted to do, like, basically homeschooling because he like a lot of shit happened at school for him. Like he got made fun of and stuff like that, and he just got bullied. So he just really wanted to stay home and do like homeschooling essentially.
And so Wendy was like basically the closest thing to a parent to John because their mom died when they were very young.
When John was like a baby, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so neither one of them had her in their lives, and their dad was never there because he was too busy taking care of the airline business and making connections. And what they didn't know is that the airline business was also kind of a front for
Front
crime
for
activity.
yeah, for his thing that he did. And wasn't James it was Hook, sorry, not James, Hook, who his drug was the pixie dust, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which I'm guessing was like cocaine.
That's what I'm assuming. That's what I envisioned in my brain.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And Peter wanted that. That he's like, I'm gonna steal their drug and I'm gonna make their company my own.
Yeah.
Um, but because Hook didn't have his parents died when he was really young, the crime boss of the Pixie Dust franchise kind of took him in as like a nephew under his wing. So that's really the only family that he had. So he
Yeah.
was just kind of stuck in this life of like being a criminal.
Yep.
He didn't really have a choice.
Yeah, he was just kind of raised into it and due to unforeseen circumstances, basically. Well, unforeseen to him.
Yeah. So Hook's plan doesn't really go as planned. Because the more him and Wendy start hanging around each other, the more he starts catching the feelings.
Yep, the more heated their relationship starts to become. Here's okay, little background on Wendy though, real quick. She is pure as can be,
That's right.
which was an odd choice in my opinion.
But at the same time, I feel like it kind of makes sense because she was
Yeah.
so sheltered of trying to like be her dad's like perfect child.
Yeah, but that's also why you would think she would have like rebelled a little bit more because like she essentially raised herself.
But I don't think she did to protect John.
Yeah. So she's 20 years old. She's a virgin. She's never drank alcohol until she went to the Jolly Rogers. She's never done drugs. She's never done anything. Like she's literally the most pure person you could possibly be. And enter Hook, basically.
Yeah. I feel like I don't feel like she ever did drugs though.
No. Only when she got drugged.
Yeah, but that doesn't count. That's not like voluntarily. That's not recreational.
That's true. That's not you being curious.
Pretty sure after that she probably never did it again.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Hook was basically the not the cleanup guy. I would say the problem solver for this drug company because he was always the one to get the guys and torture information out of them.
Mm-hmm.
So he had this creepy ass. I pictured it as a basement, but like a clean basement, like a designated space to murder somebody and be able to clean it up so nobody would know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Quick and easy.
quick and easy. Like
I know
I'm
that sounds
pretty sure
bad.
they described it having a drain. Like
yeah.
it wasn't very like I was thinking like Dexter.
Yeah. My God, I didn't even think of that until yep.
Very
Yeah.
specific, like, oh, this is where the people go. And once you come in this room, like, you're not coming out.
Yeah. Basically.
And that's how he got his Hook name, because he would use a hook.
Yeah.
And see, like, in my mind, I always pictured, like, you know, the hay hook?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I pictured, and it made it, like, so much worse.
You know what? I think I pictured that same thing. Because, I mean, it's a fucking hook. What else are you going to picture?
I don't know. I feel like if people aren't around that, they would picture something else.
True. Yeah. And another important thing about Wendy's father is he purposely kept her sheltered from the world because I think he knew that somebody would. Well, he knew someone would go after her no matter what because of who he was.
Mm-hmm. He didn't
And
want
so,
somebody to target her
yeah.
for being. I mean, he couldn't give two shits about John, but you know.
Yeah. We'll get into that.
But so as as Hook and Wendy's relationship kind of develops during this time, their dad Peter decides to send John to like almost like a
Boarding
boarding
school.
school.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was like a boarding school, but like for like troubled kids. But he wasn't a
Yes.
troubled kid. That was just like Peter's like, nope, you're a bad kid. Go fuck yourself. I'm
Yep.
going to send you to this really awful place instead of letting you be homeschooled. Because what does it matter to me? Because I'm literally never home.
Never home. He literally bought a mansion and it's literally just essentially for Wendy.
It's a prison. Let's be real.
Well, yeah, a prison. Yeah.
And I believe like Hook and Wendy ended up staying the night with each other the night before, and then she wakes up and realizes like, oh crap, like I want to be the one to take my brother to this boarding school. Like I don't want him to have to deal with that alone. And sweetly enough, Hook's like, you know, I'll go with you. And it was so weird, like as you're reading it, like John meets Hook for the first time, and they somehow have this like
Instant connection.
Like he's like, "Oh, I like you," like, and they're like bonding really well. And so
Mm-hmm.
obviously at that point in the story, you're like, "Oh, look at they all love each other. Like it's just going so well."
This is meant to be.
All the while, Hook was supposed to be at a meeting with I cannot remember the guy's name, whoever his uncle is. I can't remember his name.
I
His
forget his
uncle
name.
and his uncle was meeting up with Peter to talk about a deal. And so he kept telling Wendy, like, I have to be back by this time. I have to be back by this time. But as they're taking John to this boarding school, like they just kind of realize how awful this school is, and neither of them feel like super comfortable leaving him to his own devices.
Yeah.
And Hook ends up giving John his number. He's like, if you need anything, like, I'll get you the fuck out of this place.
I will break you out.
And so then as they're coming back, he realizes, like, oh fuck, I gotta go meet my uncle. Like, I feel like shit's gonna go sideways. So he drops Wendy at home and goes to this weird meet spot. Like, why this would be the place they would meet? It's like in the woods, in the middle of nowhere, in a cave.
I was gonna say, wasn't it like a weird place, like in the woods?
Yeah, it was like a cave in the woods.
Honestly, I don't know if you've ever seen Sons of Anarchy, but it reminded me of like an episode of Sons of Anarchy where they all meet in the fucking woods, and they just like literally shoot someone's dick off.
I mean,
I mean, yeah, but
but yes, that's exactly like what I thought too. I'm like, this is some shady. I mean, I know there's drug dealers and shit, but like,
you would think like
you got money, you can meet somewhere else.
You can meet somewhere else. You can meet someone. You can meet somewhere where you can pay somebody off because Hook ran the town anyways.
Yeah,
so
and that's why Peter wanted the Pixie Dust Company so much because he wanted that control. And so by the time he arrives, his uncle is on the ground.
But he didn't know it was Peter at the time, right?
No, he did.
Oh, he did? Oh,
because
okay.
The uncle was like, I need you to be there for this really important meeting. Well, no, he was telling him about it, and Hook was like, no, I have to be there. Like, I'm gonna be there.
Yeah. And then that makes him see red instantly because he knows that it's Peter. Yeah, Peter. I don't know why I almost said Michael, because that's the last name, but
Peter Michaels.
and then he immediately goes to Wendy's. She's in
Oh,
on this. Like, she knows everything.
yep.
She distracted me on
That's when like
purpose.
the switch flips for him.
Yeah. But it's like, bro, you offered to take her out. She was like, no, you're good.
That's true. But yeah, he immediately was like, "Oh, this was her plan all along to distract me. This is why I can't be close to anybody." So then that's where his original plan kind of locks back into place.
Yeah. Because at first he was starting to soften and he was getting feelings for her. And
he was
it
like, "Well,
wasn't.
maybe not all of the Michaels are like this."
Yeah. Because he could see a lot of himself in her from like the unresolved traumas that she went through in her life that
And
he
he
also
was
went through.
starting to realize, like, oh, he also treats his daughter like garbage and his son
Yep.
like garbage. Like, this isn't a family affair.
Yeah. As soon as he started to like talk to her more and get to know her, and she was telling him everything that she went through with her dad, he was like, oh, he's kind of a piece of shit. And she's like, yeah.
Tell me something I didn't know.
Seriously.
And I believe at this point, doesn't somebody else come and drug her and bring her to his creepy basement?
Oh yeah.
Because I don't think it was him.
Wasn't that when like Tina Bell entered?
Yeah, so right before John went to boarding school, Tina Bell is Peter's like secretary. And basically was trying to get the kids out of the way.
Yeah. Yeah, Tina Bell was a shady bitch. She like had this weird jealousy over Wendy. And like Wendy had a jealousy over Tina naturally because she was getting all of her dad's attention. This, that, the other thing. Like any daughter would be like, hey, can you like at least spend some time with me? Type of deal. Like you're with her all the time. Can you like give me some sort of attention? Love me, maybe? Treat me like your child? Just a
And,
thought.
yeah. And I feel like after that's what it was. After they sent John away, and after Peter had killed Hook's uncle, he was like telling Wendy, they were telling Wendy that she had to go on lockdown basically at the
Yeah.
house. Like she wasn't allowed to leave. And Hook, I remember now, Hook came to visit her and she's like, "Well,
Yeah.
I can trust him. He's not going to hurt me."
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
He kinda did.
but her thoughts, I mean, weren't really wrong. I mean, what she knew of him,
Yeah.
and up
Because
to
she
that
thought,
point, she had no reason to believe that he would harm her.
yeah, because they were going on out on dates. They were spending a lot of time together. They were starting to get smitten with each other. I believe they had also slept with each other at this point.
Multiple times at this point.
Yeah, he took her virginity.
Big
Like on the
feels.
first date, she put out real fast for being a virgin.
Well, women have needs.
Valid.
But yeah, it was him who came in, and I'm pretty sure he like chloroformed her.
He did. He did. He definitely did.
I'm just gonna chloroform you.
He was like, "Hey, darling, pat."
And I want to say, no, he didn't leave a note. But they had cameras, right, at the house?
Yes, because Peter was a psychopath when it came
Yeah.
to Wendy.
I mean, that was the one nice thing he did for his daughter. At least he.
You're in a prison, though.
Yeah, well.
And then at this point, Hook is like torturing Wendy. He took her to the basement.
Took her to the basement.
He's torturing Wendy, and Wendy's confused, and she's like, "What's going on?" And he's like, "You don't know." And then he essentially just tells everything her dad's done. She's like, "What are you talking about?"
Well,
And
and
then,
I feel like a little bit before then, she started to realize like her dad was doing
yeah,
more
that stuff
shady
was slowly
things.
coming together.
And then once he like word vomited everything, she was like, Well, that kind of confirms that you are a bad guy.
Yeah. Yeah. When she was finally starting to, like, defend herself to her dad, and then mostly John.
Yeah.
She was defending John a lot.
And this is where he, like, finally tells her, like, your dad killed my parents in a plane crash.
Yeah. Yeah. And she
Like,
was like, oh,
he
shit.
planned to have my parents, like, murdered. And
It was an on-purpose plane crash, basically.
yeah.
Where everybody on board was killed, right?
Yeah.
Except for James.
James wasn't on the plane.
I thought he was.
He was supposed to be on the plane.
I thought he was the only one that survived.
I didn't think he was on it. He might have been. I don't know. It's been a minute.
No, I don't know. Unless, did I dream that? I have weird dreams. There's a chance I could have dreamed that.
Um, but anyway. I don't remember.
Either way, wasn't supposed to be on the plane or survive the crash. Everybody died on board. He didn't die. That's
No.
basically it. However he survived, he didn't die. I really don't remember. You're probably right, honestly.
I feel like something happened and he wasn't on the plane with
He ended up not going on the plane. But he remembers meeting Wendy once upon a time.
Yeah,
because they
when he
met
was
on the
little.
boat. Yeah, like, or on a yacht or something.
Because I think at that point, they were trying to work together.
Yeah. And then
they had business dealings.
Yeah. And then so he's torturing Wendy, and then once he realizes that Wendy actually had nothing to do with any of the shit that her dad pulled on
His parents.
thank you. And the dude, his uncle.
Yeah.
He was like, okay, well, I'm still gonna use you as a pawn. We have to go to this ball type of thing that was going on.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
And you have to pretend to love me and blah 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 blah.
Yeah, he was holding her hostage with wasn't it a collar of some sort?
I think so. That looked like a choker.
Yeah, that looked like a choker. And they were like, he was like, you have to pretend like you're in love with me because it'll piss off your father.
And if you don't,
yep, you're dead.
You're done.
There was John. And then he was using John for her as her bait. And even though he would never harm him.
Yeah. And using Wendy as Peter's.
Yeah.
And so they all go to this ball, and it's Peter and Tinabelle and Hook and Wendy, and he makes it so they are at the same table. And at this point, I feel like she was missing for a week at this point.
She was, yes.
For a while.
Yeah, she was stuck on the boat.
Yeah, oh, that's right.
That just triggered, I don't know why.
But he lived on a yacht, a docked yacht. And Smee was his boat, his butler, basically.
Yeah.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yes.
And wasn't allowed to leave. And
oh my god, we're forgetting about a very important person who worked on the yacht.
Smee.
Oh, okay. I thought you said that was the name of the boat. I heard that wrong.
No, I don't know what the boat's name was.
Yeah. Yeah, Smee. And then I think what also triggered the holding hostage thing was, remember, he thought she tried to escape the yacht when she wasn't. And she just went to go stick her feet in the water.
Oh, that's right. Because the collar was a tracker.
Yeah.
So he could see where she was at all times.
Mm-hmm.
Because once he realized that she wasn't in on it, he took her out of the basement and took her to the yacht.
Yes.
So then
I said she couldn't
sleep in his bed. The fuck?
Yeah. But anyways, back at the ball. Sorry.
They're at the ball, and Wendy's, in her mind, on their way there, she's like, okay, my dad's gonna do everything he can to get me back.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not gonna have to stay with this crazy ass motherfucker any longer.
Like, I feel any daughter would feel that way too. Be like, my dad's not gonna let this happen. He's gonna save me from this.
So they show up at the ball, and obviously her dad and Tina are surprised.
Yes.
Like, she's been missing for a week. Of course they're gonna be like, oh, shit, it's you.
Like, oh, hey.
And the way, if this was an actual book that I was reading and not on my Kindle, the way I would have thrown my fucking book, because this man pissed me the fuck off. Like, how fucking dare you? My daughter's, who's apparently my pride and joy, love her so much, has been missing, and I finally see her, and I could give two fucking shits. It's all about business.
All about business and also being influenced by Miss Tina Bell.
See, and also the way that if I was Wendy, I would have just straight up across the fucking table, knife to the throat, that motherfucker. Like, what?
You're my favorite animal. Because, yeah, you would.
Like, how fucking dare you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I don't care how good this bitch's pussy is. Like, I am your daughter.
And then isn't that also when, like, Hook actually stops doing whatever it is he's doing to Wendy because he's like, Jesus Christ.
Well,
like,
and
he
that's
doesn't
when,
even
like,
care
all
if I
the
kill
rage, like, just focuses on Peter. He's like, you motherfucker!
Like, no, you don't treat her like this.
And don't they, like, make out in the bathroom?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I was like, oh, he defended me. Girl, he tortured you in a basement.
Like, are we just forgetting? Are we gonna brush past that? Like,
I mean,
girl.
A little toxicity in a relationship, I feel like. All relationships have them.
I'm not here to king shame, man. I'm just here giving my judgment on this book.
But what was so interesting is, like, how much at this point Hook flip-flopped.
Yes.
Because he went from, like, hate her, defend her, hate her, defend her, hate her, defend her.
He had a very love-hate relationship. I don't think necessarily with her, but with himself when it came to her.
Like, his internal, like...
Yeah.
I don't know
what inside, he's like, this is the daughter of the man who killed my parents. Like I shouldn't love her. I should want her dead. Like, make him hurt the way I hurt type of thing.
Yes. And I believe when they go home that night, they have sex. So they're, like, relationship-ish again. And I think at that point, he tells her his name.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Which was, like, a very big moment for him. And at this point, like, her feelings of her dad have changed drastically.
Yeah.
But she's still, like, yeah, she's mad at her dad, but more of her blame is on Tina.
Yes.
She's like, he wouldn't be acting like this if she wasn't there. Yes,
because she did have a heavy influence on him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, very heavily. She was like, no, don't do that. Meh, meh, meh. I guess it was real good pussy. That's the only thing I could think of.
Must be. But then at that point, don't her and Hook make the plan to, like, lure them to make a deal?
Yes. Yes, where he brought Wendy in on it.
And he's like, I'm gonna kill your dad. And she's like, well, what if we just kill Tina? Maybe my dad will change his mind and be a good person. Like, maybe we can figure something out. And he's like, all right, fine. But in the back of his head is like, I'm gonna kill your fucking dad. Like,
I'm still killing.
Like, a question in his mind.
Yeah.
Like, he was like, sorry, love, but...
like, love you, but he's got to go.
But he was willing to wait a moment. So then he was hoping she would see the real him.
Yes.
In her dad. So he sends a message to Peter and he's like, come to this place and I'll give you your daughter back and we'll make a deal. And Peter's like, all right, bet. And so they show up, and I'm pretty sure Wendy, she wasn't tied up.
No.
And so they all get together, and they're like just talking in this creepy fucking cave.
I'm always with the cave. I don't get it.
The most unsanitary place. And didn't Smee drive them there?
Yes.
So Smee drives them, and they're like, all right, we're going in. Smee, stay in the car. Like, we got this. And Peter and Wendy show up, and they start trying to negotiate.
Make some deals.
Because, basically, Hook doesn't want Peter to infringe in on his territory. Like, he's like, mind your own fucking business.
Like, this is my town. We don't need any more help. We don't need any more outsiders coming in.
Like, you're not...
You fooled my uncle. You're not fooling me.
Yeah. We're not making deals. We're not making plans. Like, if you want your daughter to live, like...
Because now, it's solely Hook that's running all this stuff.
Yeah.
It's not him and his uncle anymore. It's just Hook.
And Tina Bell is like, no, don't care. Could give two shits. And he's like, bitch, was I even talking to you?
That was literally a moment where he was like, excuse me, the men talking.
Which also, like, that would have pissed me off. Too. But, like, in that moment, I was like, I'll let it slide.
Just this once, though.
Just this one time. And I don't remember, like, how the events unfold.
I don't fully remember either.
It was, like, everything all at once.
It was...
And
I think Smee started it.
That's right.
I think he came out.
He came in, and he's like, let's just kill this bitch and get it over with. And when he was like, let's just kill her, we're like, yeah! Until you realize he meant Wendy.
Yeah.
And so then Hook
that was
like,
such a plot twist I did not see coming.
I didn't either. I was not expecting him to be siding with Peter. And
same.
Because him and Tina had some sort of, like, not like relationship, but a relationship but not romantic.
Like yeah, a
working partners.
Work relationship.
Yeah.
Partnership, if you will.
Yeah. And so he was getting something out of it, and Tina didn't want Wendy, like, she was like, kill the bitch. Get her out of my way.
She had no reason. She just didn't like her.
Well, kind of. Wendy was getting in the way of her getting what she wanted with Peter because he loved her so much.
Yeah. Like, that's the whole reason why she didn't like her. And it's like, it's not logical enough reason. That's his daughter.
Right? Don't love your own kid.
How dare you?
Do what you do with John and ignore her. And I feel like Smee went to kill Wendy, and Hook just, like, fucking bop offed him.
Yeah. He was like, oh, no, you fucking don't.
Yeah. He's like, no. And they all kind of, like, got in this, like, intense, like, tussle almost. So then Tina's like, well, I'm gonna fucking murder you. And Wendy fucking shoots the bitch. And I was like, damn.
Wendy
was not
who has no experience with any weapons.
Just bam.
Takes her out.
Like headshot.
KO'd, bro.
So then it's this, like, serious moment of, like, Wendy still doesn't want Hook to kill her dad.
Yeah.
And then this is where I feel like the big character twist of Peter happens. Because this is when, like, everything comes out. Because he finally realizes who Hook is. he finally realizes that he killed his parents because he thought he died in the plane crash.
Yeah.
So he thought that whole family was getting taken care of. And he had made some sort of comment like, oh, I'm going to kill you and your brother too. And you're like, wait, what?
It was like, I don't have a brother, moron.
And that's when it comes out that Wendy's mom slept with Peter, or with James's dad. Yeah. So John is both Wendy and Hook's half brother.
It's like she's riding that borderline.
They weren't related. They had different parents.
But she's riding that line.
And so Wendy's and John's mom was also on that plane. Mm-hmm. Because he wanted to get rid of him. No, I thought he tried to have her killed at childbirth.
I think he did, and it didn't work.
Yeah.
So then he put her on the plane and was like, all right, I can just get rid of all of them.
And I don't know why John wasn't on that plane. Probably because Wendy already knew about him.
Probably, because he was already born, so Peter couldn't really do anything about it.
So it was revenge on
everybody
on Peter's dad parts. And that's why he treated John so terribly, because he's like, you're not my kid.
Not my kid.
Why would I fucking love you? And so when he says that, that's when the change in Wendy happens, and she's like, oh, fuck no, you're not killing my fucking brother.
Yeah, she's like, fuck you. Okay, now he can die.
And that's when Peter starts backpedaling, like, oh, but I'm your only family, like, you wouldn't want me dead, and blah, 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 blah. And he kind of, like, gets into her, I feel. Like, she starts to kind of, like, well, maybe. And
I guess you're right.
And I feel like at that point, I know James, one of them gets shot.
I forget who.
I feel like James gets, like, shot in the leg or something.
I think it is James that gets shot.
And then she picks up the gun.
Yeah.
So and that triggered her. Peter shoots Hook.
Yeah.
And that's what sparks her to be like, well, he's just going to kill both of us at this point.
Yeah.
And she kills her dad.
He's a kill or be killed at that point.
Yeah. Crazy.
And then they go get John out of the boarding school. And then after the dad's dead, I think, doesn't she like sell the house or something?
Yeah, she doesn't want to live there.
Yeah, she sold the house, and then, she's essentially stupid rich because she inherited all of her dad's stuff. And her and John move into the yacht with Hook.
With Hook.
And then they tell him, oh, by the way, I'm your brother.
And they all live happily ever after.
Which is like, this is my...
Subway.
This is my main beef. Okay, it's time for the judgment part. This is my main beef with all of her books so far. Except for this current one I'm reading, because I just don't know how it ends yet. The endings are rushed.
Yeah. She definitely waits for that climax piece in the last, like, 75% of the book. Where there's only, like, 30 pages left, and then you have to finish it, so there's the end.
Yeah, like 2 or 3 chapters worth, and it's like, okay. Because, like, the conclusions, they're always, like, super rushed. All of the, like, the conflicts are wrapped up really fast, and everything's just solved. And it's like, okay. But it's not, like, super solved. It's, like, not properly solved. It's just, like...
They're happy, I guess.
Yeah. Like, okay, he's dead. Let's move on with our life. Like,
yeah, no residual trauma of your father trying to murder you.
And you having to kill him. Like, what?
Yeah, I do agree with that. Like, it definitely... Her books take a while to get to, like, the conflict.
It's been every single book in this series.
Yeah.
Like, coming, like, and this is because I've read all of them, and that's every single book. It's just, that's my main beef. That's my main beef about her books. I'm hoping that the Sugar Lake series that I'm reading, I'm hoping it's not like that, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm halfway through right now, and I'm like, no conflict has happened yet. I feel like that's when the conflict should happen. It's like, you get a little thing, and you go uphill,
But
you're at
I
the
mean,
peak, and then
that's not even just her. A lot of any
a
sort
lot
of
of authors.
romance books, everything goes so good. Okay, because it takes, like, majority of them are fucking slow burns, which,
yeah,
they drive me nuts. So, like, the first, like, half of the book, nothing happens, and then from, like, 50 to 70% of the book, that's when the characters start, like, getting into each other, and then at, like, 70%, the problem happens, and then it's solved.
Whereas, like, at that point, if you're not gonna have, like, a conclusion or a proper conclusion for the book, just leave it on a cliffhanger and write a second one.
Ugh, no cliffhanger.
I would prefer that.
I wouldn't, because there's not enough, though. Like, especially, like, in Hooked, there wouldn't be enough to
There wouldn't be enough, but, like, make it a little bit longer then, like...
Or shorten some stuff up. I feel like there's definitely some chapters you're like, okay, why?
Too much, yeah. Like, a lot of Maria, the person that liked Hook in the beginning, I think we didn't really need a lot of that. Or her other friend that you don't hear of ever.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, there's, like, this whole...
Like, just felt kind of like,
Yeah.
Why do we need that?
Now, I rated this book, I think it was a 4 is what I rated it.
I also went back. I also rated it a 4. 4 out of 5.
Yeah. And that brings me to the average rating. Before you saw it, what would you think the average rating of this book would be?
A 4.
I was thinking like a 4 or 4.5 is what I would think between those numbers. So the average rating of this book was 3.79.
That's like almost a 4.
I mean, yeah.
But that's definitely lower than I thought it was going to be.
Uh-huh. It's honestly, same. When I saw that, I was like, I think her highest rated book so far is Hexed. In this series.
Same. Well, I've not heard good things about Frost, so by literally anybody.
That one, most of them, I think, sit at a 3.
Let's go look. But
so I think I looked on Fable.
Despite those ratings, I definitely feel like they're an entertaining read.
They are. I enjoyed it. Like, I would go back and read this book again.
I would.
Not anytime in the near future, but like, a few years from now or something, if I wanted like a nice... the spice.
I rated it a 3 out of 5 spice.
Yeah.
It was a solid amount. Not
this
too
one,
much, not...
I think this one has the most spice in all of her books, all of these books so far.
Yeah, it was pretty black.
This one popped off real fast with the spice.
I mean, I didn't hate it, because I always, like I said, I don't like the slow burn. Like, if you're gonna do it, just do it. Like,
I completely agree with you.
That was kind of like Twisted, though. It started off right off the bat, too, and I was like, whoa!
It did. But then, you don't see it again for a while.
Yeah.
That's what pissed me off about it. Because it's like, okay, if you're gonna introduce me this fast, then at least keep it going every so often. Like, with Hooked, she actually did that. She kept it going every so often. It wasn't like, boom, it happened, and then you have to wait again until, like, 75% of the way again. It's, yeah.
Yeah, most of her books are, like, a 3.8.
Yeah.
And Hexed was 4.2.
I'm telling you, it's the best one.
And...
that one I would have hands down read
Frost
again. Like, I would read
was the lowest at 3.69.
I know! I was so happy when I saw that. I'm sorry. I have so much beef with this book.
I know, and I have to read it next.
I know.
Okay. You don't have to. Like, let me put that out there.
Okay, yeah, actually,
these books are not connected in any way.
They're a standalone series.
Yes. They're not even in, like, the same world. It's not like the Twisted Love series that all the characters, like, their characters are the same thing. Like, no, they're all different. So, like, Hooked is Peter Pan, Scarred is Lion King, Wretched is
Wizard of
Oz, Twisted is Aladdin, Crossed, I think, is the Hunchback of Notre Dame, and Hexed is Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
So they're all separate, and I do kind of like how they're not all set in the current time period. Like, this one
Yes.
definitely was. But, like, Scarred is back when they still had kings and no guns. So I liked that, especially going from reading this one and then Scarred right after. It kind of helped disconnect them a little bit,
It
even
was
though I
nice,
feel
yeah.
like the other ones are definitely in the same, like, in the modern time frame. For Wretched and
Yes, they are.
Twisted.
Yeah, no, I was thinking back on them, yeah, and yeah, they are. See, and that's where her other series, the Sugar Lake series, the one that I'm currently reading right now, they're different than this. They are standalone books, but the worlds are, it's one world.
So, like, the characters know each other.
Yeah, the characters are intertwined. You'll like, I'm assuming what I've read, you'll meet them again in the other books.
Yeah.
Like, this first book I'm reading is about two characters, and then the second book is about the main character in the first book's brother, and then her best friend. So it's like,
Yeah. I feel like there's a lot of book series that do that. That's like The Butcher and Blackbird. They're all the same characters, but they focus on different characters. Or the Twisted Love series, or like there's literally so many that use those characters. Like even Lights Out, the second book is about the friend. So yeah.
Oh,
I'm excited. I need to go pick it up. I think
I'm 25% of the way through Lights Out right
now. I cannot wait to talk about that one.
30% of the way through. Whatever Goodreads said.
I finished that book and I would have been completely fine with sitting down and restarting it right then.
Damn.
I thoroughly enjoyed that book.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I'm excited for the second one.
But yeah, so the Never After series, you don't have to read them all. You don't even have to read them in order if you don't want to.
I don't think so. Like, you can read them in whatever order you want.
I would tell anybody else but Sam this. Skip Crossed.
Wow. Cute.
You gotta suffer with me.
That's rude. I saved you the suffering of having to read a stupid 8-book series.
This is just one book, and it's the shortest one. Mm-hmm. And we committed to this series.
That's fair.
I didn't commit to that other one yet.
Yeah, because I talked you out of it, because it's hot garbage.
Yeah.
Anyone can fight me on that. I have many a bullet points to support my feelings.
She will provide a detailed PowerPoint.
I sold all those books. Because I didn't want to look at them, because it just made me angry.
She sold them with the tandem read.
Yeah, the girl who bought them from me was very thankful. She's like, "Oh my gosh, you marked them and everything." I'm like, "I hope you enjoy them more than I did, because I did not." Like, take them off my hands.
Jeez. Yeah.
But tropes for this book, it's definitely a dark romance. It has that revenge trope and a kidnapping trope. On Fable, it tries to say it's an enemies to lovers, but I disagree with that because Wendy at no point in the beginning of the book hated Hook.
Yeah, I wouldn't even... Definitely not...
Like, I know a lot of people... Like, there are a lot of books that claim to have that enemies to lovers trope. And to me, like, they have to actually be enemies. Like, I believe it on Hook's side. Like, he fucking hated her.
That was his enemy, but she didn't even know he existed.
Yeah, no. And so, like, I don't feel like it was a true enemies to lover. Like, both of them have to want each other dead.
Exactly. And
an enemies to lovers trope.
Yeah. And it definitely was not that. I wouldn't say it was that at all.
No,
it was definitely like a vengeance type of thing. A revenge trope, kidnapping trope.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just... Yep.
But yeah, that is our review on Hooked by Emily McIntire. I don't know, I feel like if you are a dark... I mean, it's not really like super dark romance, but on the more like dark-ish side of romance, and those are type of books you like, I recommend reading this series. It's a fun series.
These are good. The series is a good introduction to the dark romance, because it was my first time reading a dark romance, and I really liked them. and I made the big jump from the series to Lights Out.
I jumped right in with dark romance, and I started with Haunting Adeline.
That's on my TBR.
It's way more dark romance than this.
But I'm gonna be totally real with you, and if people come at me, I'm sorry. I don't pay attention a lot of the times to the genre of the book. I'm definitely like, if the name sounds interesting or the cover looks interesting, I'm gonna read it.
Yeah, or if I
Like
see people
I'm
talking
such
about it. I mean,
yeah.
like if people are
Like
like, "Oh my gosh, you should read this," I'm like, "All right." Like,
that's
I'm
what I
down for
okay.
another book to read.
Yeah, going into the McIntire series, I had no idea what the fuck it was about. Melissa told me to read it, and I was like, all right. So I read it, and I was like, oh, it's about fairies.
And then I told you to read Fourth Wing.
Yep.
Don't
Didn't
read
know what
Throne
that
of
was about
Glass.
either. Huh?
Don't read Throne of Glass.
I won't. I won't.
I don't recommend anybody reading Throne of Glass. It's garbage.
I told
Hot
Melissa,
garbage.
and Melissa was like, oh no.
I know. Her and Nicole had already bought the books. I'm like, oh, big mistake.
Yeah.
That's
But Melissa didn't buy the whole series.
the
She
worst
just has, I think, the
$120 you ever
first
spent.
Yeah. But yeah, that's our review. I have nothing bad to say about this book.
It was
Just
good.
other than like the rushed ending that I said, but like I said that about all her books.
Yeah, I agree with that. And like, I don't know, I feel like it just I'm definitely a reader for entertainment purposes, and I was
Yes.
entertained the whole time. Like I
So
was
was I. It was such a
engaged
good book.
in this book. I think it took me like 5 hours to read this book.
Yeah, you blew through this book.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this one.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I've read all of them except for Wretched, but I took a long break on that because I got a ton of arc reads, so that doesn't count. But I feel like I read them all so far. We'll see how long Cross takes me.
Cross took me so long to read. I believe I don't even remember when I started it, but it took me a long time to get through that one.
Yeah, that review might come a while later. I will finish it before August, but I think the problem is I'm just not looking forward to reading it from what I've heard from literally everybody.
I know. I'm sorry. I've definitely contributed to that a lot.
A lot of people have. Like anybody I know who's read this series does not like that one.
Yeah, it's
And I know surprisingly a lot of people who read it.
It's a pretty popular series from what I understand.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, like, I'm gonna be real. It's probably a lot of Disney adults.
Oh, sure. That's why I wanted to read it. I was like, oh,
I mean, I'm wearing a Disneyland shirt. Come on.
Like the villains say less.
The minute that I saw Scarred, I was like, oh, bet.
That one was really good too.
Lion King is my favorite.
And I think that's why I like Twisted so much, because Aladdin is one of my favorites.
I knew you were gonna love Twisted. I read it and I was like, Sam's gonna fucking love this one.
That one I think I rated like 5 stars.
Yeah. I really liked Twisted too. Scarred I really enjoyed also. Scarred was my favorite until Hexed.
Oof, I cannot wait. I've heard really good things about Hexed.
So have I. But, and yeah, it's a long one. But I was flying through that book, so.
Well, that's good. I should be able to read it pretty quick.
I read it took me 3 days to read it, but I strained my eyes a little bit, and it was right after I got out of the hospital.
Oh, yeah.
So I read like 20 chapters a day.
Holy shit, dude. I know, I'm definitely in a reading slump right now. Like, I have books, and like I want to read them, but I don't like feel like reading.
Yeah.
Because I really want to read A Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. I wanted to read it when it came out, but I had like 5 million arcs that were due when it was coming out, so I couldn't like. Because normally what I do with her books, I buy them, I read them in a day. And so I haven't been able to do that, so now like there's that expectation on myself, like, okay, I gotta sit and read it in a day, and I'm like, ugh. I don't feel like it. And then I went to the library and I got The Outsiders. So, also, I didn't know how small that book was, so I'm gonna be able to read that so fast.
Oh, yeah, I could read that book in a couple hours.
Like, I got it, and I was like, holy shit. Like, it's just a baby.
It's a, oh my god, it's so good that I'm so excited for you to go on that journey.
I
I
am
just
excited.
love that book so much.
I'm excited to read it. Let me see.
It's a classic, and it's an old book. But it's
Oh
my
my
it's my
god, it's not even
absolute
200
favorite.
pages.
Yeah, it's a quick read. I'm
Is
not
it?
even joking when I tell you I reread that book like once a year.
Well, with it being that short, I believe it. Is it just a standalone book?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and then you have Great Big Beautiful Life sitting next to it that's like this big. So,
And then once you read The Outsiders, you should watch The Outsiders.
it's a movie?
Yeah.
Oh man. I don't know if I
Fucking
can do that.
Patrick Swayze's in it.
I don't know if I can do that because the last time I read a book and then watched the movie right after, I got real pissed.
It's a classic movie.
Got real mad when I did that with Hunger Games.
Patrick Swayze's in it. What's his name? Tom Cruise is in it. Matt Damon's in it.
What the fuck?
Yeah, like young Matt Damon too, and like obviously young Patrick Swayze. Rip. And then young Tom Cruise. He had a unibrow still, Tom Cruise did.
Yeah, I definitely. That'll be one we'll have to talk about too.
Yes. Oh my god, yes. I'll have to reread it.
It'll take you like an hour.
Oh no, I have to reread my favorite poem. Alright, yeah, so that's everything. That was our bookish banter with our side of judgment.
Yep.
I was really judgmental about some of them.
Yeah, be sure to like and follow us on TikTok and Instagram. And give us a comment on how, if you've read Hooked, how you liked it. Because I really want to know. Like, I feel like I haven't really heard anything bad about this series.
Neither have I. I would love to know other people's takes on this. And, like, yeah, let us know what you thought about it if you read it, or if we made you not want to read it.
I hope not. It was good. I really
I hope
liked
not.
it.
I hope we made you want to read it.
You did it so fast. You also should read it.
You did. She did read it fast. She did. And our Instagram, 2_Ps_potting.
And that's the same for
Instagram and TikTok. Yeah. But yeah, so
thanks for listening in to 2Ps Potting. We're just here, podding through life, one book at a time.
hell yeah, we are. All right. Bye.
Bye.